Hi, this is Ryan Holleen. Today we're going to give you some core stabilization exercises. Stabilization meaning exercises that are repeated in a way that grooves healthy movement patterns. I'm going to give you McGill's Big Three. I'm going to show you each one, just kind of how they're performed, and I'll give you some tips on how you can do the advanced versions as well if you're looking for an additional challenge. Start with the curl up. The curl up is very similar to a crunch, except you're not going to flatten round the low back at all, and you're not going to flex the head and the neck. So to start, bend one knee to 90 degrees, keep the other leg straight. Put your hands like this or like this underneath the hollow, the curve in the low back, the inward curve. You're going to support that curve, keep that nice neutral lumbar spine position throughout the exercise. From here, all you're going to do is pick the head, the neck, and the shoulders up about 1 inch off the ground. And you can also lightly float the elbows just enough to slide a piece of paper underneath them. And you're not even really doing a curl up motion. You're really just elevating the head, neck, and shoulders up towards the ceiling. Hold this for 10 seconds and back down. You're not moving your head and neck. You're not moving your neck, your cervical spine at all, really. There's no motion in the cervical spine, no motion in the lumbar spine. You're accomplishing this curl up motion by hinging here in the mid-thoracic spine. So again, we'll add a few more details to create more of a challenge. So pause in between reps for a few moments, and then from here, add an oblique ab brace. Lock the spine into its neutral position. Oblique ab brace. And then against that resistance of your own ab brace, curl up, and then add deep belly breathing from here. Chin pokers, chin tuckers, correct that, keep a neutral neck. No need to go too high. Actually, the lower you are, the more challenging the exercise is, contrary to popular belief. 10 seconds, back down. In between sets, switch legs. Move on next to the curl, the rolling side plank. For each of these exercises, follow the sets and rep scheme in the caption below. Rolling side plank looks like this. Start in the front plank position. Roll to your side plank position. Keep the feet splayed. That way it's easier to pivot on the toes. Here, back to the front plank position. Make sure you're in a neutral spine, and then pivot to the other side. I'm going to show you this from another angle. The goal of this exercise is to keep the pelvis and the rib cage locked together and maintain a neutral spine throughout the movement. So I don't want you to see you twisting at the core like this, leading with your shoulders, or starting the exercise, starting the roll with your pelvis, kind of leading with the pelvis like this. Rib cage, pelvis, stay locked together. They're going to move like this as one unit. So again, back to the front plank position, and then pivot to the other side. When I'm coming over to this side, I'm going to think about my lats, the lats on my left side, and I'm going to think about pulling down with my lats from there. That's going to help lock the spine into its neutral position by adding a little bit of a lat brace. So again, back to the neutral spine position. In your front plank, you don't want to be here or here, just neutral. And then when I'm rolling to my left side, think about pulling down with my lats from here. That's going to help lock the pelvis and the rib cage together so they move as one unit. So again, here. And then if you want, you can add this kind of movement, just kind of rolling back and forward, kind of getting the upper, lower, anterior, posterior fibers of the obliques. All the motion is occurring at the hip joint by pivoting on the toes and rotating at the shoulder girdle. So no motion occurring in the lumbar spine here. And again, from here, you can kind of do this kind of rolling back and forward. So holding for 10 seconds each rep again. Move on to the bird dog. Bird dog's a great exercise for the posterior chain. Another one of McGill's Big Three stabilization exercises. To start, knees under the hips, hands under the shoulders, and you don't want to be kind of collapsed in like this. You want to kind of push the earth away, push the ground away, and then you can find your neutral spine position. So you don't want to start from here or start the exercise from here. Find somewhere in between here and here that feels comfortable. So for here's kind of a neutral lumbar spine position for me. Push the ground away, and then opposite arm, opposite leg. Again, no motion occurring in the core, the pelvis. Pretend as if there was a glass of water on your pelvis. You don't want to lift the arm and the leg too high. Pelvis might rotate. Either keep the arm and the leg parallel to the floor, or even lower. If you put your leg out to here and you start to rotate your pelvis, just put your leg down slightly lower from parallel. That's fine. The exercise is still as effective, and it will allow you to maintain a level, stable, strong core, pelvis. After a 10-second hold, sweep the floor, back in, and then back out. Make a fist and push the heel away. So don't point the toes this way, push the heel away. That's going to further activate the glutes. And then again, sweeping the floor and back out for another 10-second hold. Once you're done with your reps on that side, go ahead and switch to the other side. So get your balance back again, push the ground away, neutral lumbar spine, opposite arm, opposite leg. Making a fist, pushing your heel away. Make sure your glutes are activated during this exercise. If you want to add more of a challenge, you can draw 1-foot squares. Down, out, or it's out, down, back in, and then add a pulse from here. So when you come up, add a fast twitch. So it's going to look like this. When you do your twitch, you don't want to lift with your back. You don't want to lose your neutral lumbar spine overarching. Just twitching with the glute in the upper back. So again, out, down, back in, right? So it's not just, as Dr. McGill says, it's not just a matter of doing a wimpy bird dog. You want to make that fist, push the heel away. That stiffness is going to radiate your arm to your upper back, and from your leg to your glute and to your lower back. And that pulsing twitch is kind of a, it's not just a lazy, slow twitch. It's like kind of like a something like that. So McGill's Big 3 stabilization exercises, give them a try. Thank you.